You are with CBC Radio 1, coming to you live from downtown Winnipeg. So it is November the 1st, the first day of NaNoWriMo. The first day of what, you say? NaNoWriMo. Well, it stands for National Novel Writing Month, hence NaNoWriMo. But you may be saying to yourself, I couldn't write a novel in a month. Too many things would get in the way. Well, to prove that you can, we're joined now by two people. Christine Steendam has taken part in NaNoWriMo for the past 3 years and is getting ready to start her newest novel today. Hello, Christine.
Hi.
You're in Oak Bank or so, right? Close to it?
Yeah, just outside of Oak Bank.
Nice. And William Little is with us. Now, he's in London, England. He's with a company called Stop Procrastinating, and they produce an app that helps you to stop procrastinating. He is in London. Hello, Will.
Hello, how are you?
I'm very well, and I'm very curious about all of this. Christine, first of all, to you. Am I even saying it right? What do you say, Rimo? Remo?
NaNoWriMo, just like if you're taking the beginning of each word.
Okay, NaNoWriMo. And so what exactly is it?
So it's a month-long challenge. The idea is that you have 30 days to write 50,000 words, which pretty much breaks down to a little less than 1,700 words a day.
Now, you have had success with NaNoWriMo in that you've completed novels because of it, right?
Yeah. I've been doing it since 2009. Took 1 year off, but I've been doing it every year pretty much since then. And, yeah, it's a great way to just get a rough draft out there.
What attracted you to it in the first place?
It's a lot of fun. A lot of people don't think as writing a book as fun. It's very usually a very individual activity. NaNoWriMo makes it more of a community activity. I'll get together with my friends and we'll sit down and we'll write for a couple hours instead of just sitting at your desk all alone trying to punch out a story. Oh, really?
Now,
yeah.
Now you've had success with this. You have some published books now, right?
Yes, I do.
And and they are called what, and what are they about?
My first book is called Heart Like an Ocean. It is a historical romance novel. It's set in the 1600s, and it's about a girl who's really trying to find her place in a world that doesn't really allow for individuals. You're kind of expected to live according to a certain set of rules.
Okay.
I have another book, Unforgiving Plains. It is a contemporary romance set in Alberta. And it's about a city girl who finds herself in the country.
What kind of issues have you had with procrastination?
Procrastination is the devil on my shoulder.
But through NaNoWriMo, do you have to have the book finished by the end of the month?
It doesn't have to be finished. You have to reach the 50,000 word mark to have completed the challenge. So I have actually had books where they're not done, but I've reached the 50,000 word mark.
Now, Will, in London, if I could turn to you, so you've done a survey of writers asking them about the most common things that distract them, that lead to procrastination. What did you find, according to your survey?
Well, we found that a lot of writers, 52% of writers, claim to have been distracted from writing by browsing the internet. Now, that's fairly obvious because most people write on their computers these days rather than an old-fashioned typewriter. And so, the moment when, a problem, writing is problem-solving. You're always trying to think of what's happening next. And, in that space where you're kind of leaving one problem that you've solved to the next problem, distraction lurks. You're looking for inspiration, and it takes seconds to click on to an email or a web browser and find yourself reading the daily headlines. Or what we found was 45% of those who said they were distracted by the internet said they had watched a funny animal video. Clearly they were looking for humor, and humor is a great creative outlet, I suppose. So they were looking, other 15% said they were distracted by a dating site, so they were clearly, maybe that was part of the plot, who knows. But it's very, very interesting. And 7% said that they had been distracted by a real live animal, a cat jumping on their owner's lap or on their keyboard. Now, I think most listeners could probably identify with that, because cats often have a habit of sitting on your newspaper when you're reading it, or just getting in the way when you're kind of not paying them attention. And when I've been doing some writing this week, I've got a cat called Moy, and he, has a habit of jumping up and basically sitting right in front of me, in front of my keyboard. So
okay, so you've helped to design this Stop Procrastinating app.
Yes.
So what does the app do to help writers to focus?
Right. Well, the app looks at the main problem for writers, which is the internet, and I think that causes most distraction because the way that we write today. And so the app disconnects the internet in three ways. It disconnects it completely. First of all, you put in a time. So say if you want to write for an hour or 2 hours. You put in the time, and which is quite good, because then it gives you a goal. I'm going to be focused for 2 hours, and that's quite motivating. So you haven't got an endless day ahead of you. You've got a bespoke time frame, and then you can pick one of three options. The first option is you disconnect, but you can get back online if you reboot your computer, which is a fail break, really. If you feel that you need to do some research or answer an email or something. The second one is that it blocks your internet connection even if you reboot. So this is kind of procrastination, the ultimate procrastination tool for those people who really don't trust themselves. And the third one is a filter, whereby a lot of writers want to do research when they're writing, but they want to cut the most distracting websites, so say social media sites, or say a news website. So they can cut those websites particularly, and then they can still browse. So that kind of helps them to concentrate.
Okay.
And another thing that we wanted to introduce to the app, which is goal setting. And I think that goal setting is very important, because I think that as humans, we're kind of, if we set ourselves a goal, we're more likely to achieve it if we write it down. And so we've put a box whereby writers can say, listen, I can actually write. I disconnected for 2 hours. I am going to write 1,000 words. And then when they get reconnected, that box comes back up, and then they can see whether they achieved it. They can then write into another box what they actually did achieve, and then they can award themselves a rating based on their performance.
Okay, well, now I have to turn to Christine and ask her what she thinks as she listens to this. What do you think, Christine?
I think I need that app.
Well, what are your distraction factors?
Oh, well, internet is definitely a really big one. Facebook is my big time hog. And besides that, family. I have 2 young kids that run around, and it's very hard to sit down and write when my 2-year-old wants to sit on my lap or needs cereal. Or
Do you have a cat that jumps in your lap?
No, I do not.
But you have horses or something, don't you?
Yeah, but they don't jump in my lap.
Good thing. Yeah, okay. But so I presume that you're not using Will's app yet, right? But it sounds to you like it might be worthwhile?
Yeah, I think so. I really like the goal-setting one. I think that really works well for me. Sometimes I'll just say, okay, I have to write 500 words, then I can take a break. So
okay.
That's something that would really help, because it sticks. It'll make me stick to it a little bit better.
Will, how many copies of your app have you sold around the world?
Well, we've only just launched it this week, so we've had a couple of hundred so far. But it's only been online for a few days. But
okay.
with we're getting quite a lot of traffic now, and so sales are ratcheting up fairly quickly. So it seems to be something that is in great need. And I created it myself because I'm a writer, and I was getting distracted from reading the newspaper. So I set it up because I wanted to turn off the web as well. So it's been very useful for my writing.
Will, how familiar are you with NaNoWriMo?
Well, it's very popular here in the UK. We've got many friends doing it, and I'm going to try and do it as well. this time. At the moment, I've definitely written non-fiction and plays, but I'm going to give it a go. And I think that disconnecting the internet and writing down goals will help me. And I'll make sure my door's shut and the cat is on the other side of the door when I'm writing.
Now, Christine, where do you turn to for support and help along the way when you're taking part in this novel writing thing that goes all the month of November?
I usually have a group of friends who do it with me, and so we kind of challenge each other, and we'll sit down and post on Facebook or send messages and say, I hit so many words today, and it kind of brings in the competition aspect, and I'm like, okay, this person reached 2,000 words, I got to do 2,100 words, and that really can keep me going.
Now, Christine, can we check in with you over the month of November and see how you're doing? I know that may put a little pressure on you, but you sound like you're up for it.
Yeah, and it's probably very welcome this year because I have a very busy November.
But how's that, though, checking in once a week live on the radio? How's that for incentive not to procrastinate?
Pretty good, because now I really can't fail.
Okay. And Will, are you writing as part of NaNoWriMo this year, too?
Yes, I'm going to give it a go and start writing today. And try to get to those 50,000 words. I mean, NaNoWriMo itself is set up to kind of prevent procrastination, but it sets you a goal. But unfortunately, along the way, you're going to get distracted. So I'm going to try my best not to.
Good luck. Okay, thanks to both of you for introducing us to this. This is something I'm totally unfamiliar with, but it sounds like a wonderful idea.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
That's Christine Steendam. She's taken part in